My name is Brice Rhodes. I'm currently incarcerated in Louisville, Kentucky at Metro Corrections. I've been awaiting trial for 4 years, and I still have no set trial date due to the prosecution's delays and excuses. Before I begin, I would like to say for the record, I am innocent of all charges. So I'm here today to expose and point out corruption and fabrications concerning my case. I believe it's important for the public and the courts to see this raw footage of corruption by detectives and the prosecution. What motivated me to promote this video is I seen how detectives in the Breonna Taylor case altered evidence and fabricated time frames, which is illegal. Her lawyers exposed this, so I shall do the same in my situation. So now, if you would, I would like you to watch and pay close attention. First, you will see at my preliminary hearing on June 3rd, 2016, a detective named Ryan Griffin, Ryan with an R, Ryan Griffin, state his name under oath and his testimony under oath. This shows how he committed perjury, first degree, which is a Class D felony in the state of Kentucky. Okay, watch.
If there are any witnesses in the courtroom who are intending to testify on this matter, please step outside of the courtroom.
Judge, on behalf of Commonwealth, Mr. Rhodes also, case number 31 and 32, their motions to revoke, he will also get some support to revoke his time in this case as well.
Before we get started with all of this, would you please identify yourself for the record?
Diamond Fuller, English advisor on behalf of
The defendant.
Aaron Dyke, Sheila Siegel for Mr. Rhodes.
All right. If there are no other preliminary matters, then I would ask the county to call their first witness.
I would like to call Detective Griffin.
If you could please approach the witness stand here. Will you raise your right hand for me? Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, under the penalty of perjury?
I do.
Be seated, and you may begin.
Please introduce yourself to the board.
I'm Detective Ryan Griffin with Louisville Metro Police Department, homicide unit.
How long have you been employed?
I've been employed with for the last 5 years.
With the homicide unit or with law enforcement?
With LMP.
And how long have you been?
I've been in homicide for the last 3 months.
And Detective Griffin, could you please detail for us the events that led to the defendant being charged with murder, or the events that occurred on May 4th of 2016?
Yes, ma'am. On May 4th of 2016, at approximately 1 o'clock in the morning, the victim in this case, Christopher Jones, was walking down the street when he was struck one time in the side. He was transported to University of Louisville Hospital where he succumbed to his injuries. When, as a result of the investigation of the other case that we are here on, a co-defendant that was with Mr. Rhodes the night of Christopher Jones' shooting stated that, implicated himself in that shooting and stated that Mr. Rhodes was the shooter.
And so you said that he was struck in the side and that was in a shot?
Yes, ma'am.
And he died as a result of those injuries?
Yes, ma'am.
And then all of those, and did this take place in 2019?
Yes, ma'am.
And is the defendant living in the court?
Yes, ma'am. Seated to my right and right. Yes, ma'am.
Please answer questions for defense counsel.
Did you respond to the scene on May 4th?
Yes, sir.
And where is that?
In the 800 block of South 44th Street.
Did you talk to any witnesses that evening around the scene?
I did not that evening.
Did any other detectives talk to any witnesses that evening?
No, no, sir.
You said Mr. Jones was transported to, was it Louisville?
Yes, sir.
Were any detectives or yourself able to talk to Mr. Jones about the events?
No, sir.
In the course of your investigation, did you or any other officers canvass the neighborhood and look for witnesses?
Yes, sir.
Were you able, yourself or any other detective that you're aware of, were you able to talk to any witnesses who were able to provide fair to state that the only person that you talked to that's been able to provide any information is the co-defendant?
Yes, sir.
How did you develop the co-defendant as a suspect?
The co-
I think for the purposes of probable cause, it is relevant. I'm going to ask you to answer the question, but if in fact this witness is a juvenile, not to identify this person.
The co-defendant is juvenile, and it was developed as part of an ongoing investigation for another case, another homicide case that we were investigating.
And how did his name come up in that case?
He was brought in as a suspect, and he was being questioned with his involvement to another case. And in the course of that, he also implicated himself in this case.
Is it fair to say that took place on May the 24th or May the 22nd?
I believe so. I'm not positive.
Okay. If you're familiar with the other case, correct? Did you talk to the juvenile co-defendant?
I didn't.
Is it fair to state that before he was brought in the other case, that he was not a suspect in this case?
Prior to him being brought in.
But you didn't know at that point who was involved in the case that we're talking about right now. In your questioning of him regarding a separate case, he implicated himself in this case. When you say implicated himself, what did he say that implicated himself?
He was the driver.
He was the driver.
Correct.
And then, was this a drive-by?
No, it wasn't a drive-by as far as the cars never stopped moving.
Explain to me what the juvenile said he did with regards to this case.
The juvenile did in regard to this case.
Yeah.
He said that he was driving down the street. He was told to stop. Mr. Rhodes got out, fired a shot, striking the victim, and then they left.
Did the juvenile say whether he knew that this was going to take place?
He said that they were out looking for somebody, but I don't remember whether he knew that this was specifically going to take place at that time.
Did he know who they were looking for?
I don't know.
Did he know why they were looking for someone? Did he give you any indication whether he knew the victim in this case?
To my knowledge, he did not know.
He told you that he stopped the car, correct? And that Mr. Rhodes got out of the car? Where did he say that Mr. Rhodes went at that point?
He didn't go anywhere. He got out of the car and shot the victim.
Where was the victim struck?
In the body or in the location? On the side.
Like on his abdomen?
Correct.
Do you know what type of weapon was used in that case?
No.
How do you know that?
There was a showcase in the
One shell casing? Where was that located? In the course of investigating this case, did you or any other detective talk to Mr. Rhodes?
No, I did not speak with Mr. Rhodes for this case.
Did anybody else speak to Mr. Rhodes?
No.
And as far as you're aware, Mr. Rhodes has not been questioned regarding this case.
We could not question him.
During the course of your investigation, did you look for any video surveillance of that scene? I was trying to see what evidence they have behind Mr. Rhodes to the scene at the time other than the juvenile's statement.
I'm going to allow it for a limited purpose, but we're getting a little too far into this, so I think go ahead and answer the question.
I did canvas for video.
Were you able to find anything?
We were able to find video, but not of the incident itself.
Fair to
Close
say
to it.
that there's no video of Mr. Rhodes committing this offense.
Detective Brian Griffin, 800 block South 41st Street. It's currently May 4th at 2 o'clock in the morning, starting a neighborhood canvass at 801 South 41st Street. Second?
I did that one.
Yeah. Hey, which houses did you talk to over here? On the other side of the street?
820 and 818.
Okay.
The first three have their phone.
Okay. supposed to. But 82818, no number on that house, and it jumps to 802. I don't have any idea what address this is. Third house from this third house south from Dorhofer on the west side of the street. How we doing?
I'm hanging out.
Yeah.
Other shooting, this shooting.
Yeah, you could stop with the shootings now.
Yeah, for me. Just gotta go make.
Now let me break down what you just saw. Basically, how can Detective Ryan Griffin state under oath that he responded to a shooting on 41st and did a neighborhood canvass when that was false? Because the official original police reports, such as the initial information response report and the Major Crimes Division investigation report, which is all the discovered, it never mentions Detective Ryan Griffin. His name is on no reports. His name is on no official documents. His name is not on no police reports. As you've seen the official original documents, such as the initial information response report, file number 2016. It was submitted by Detective Brian A. Griffin, 7921. It states the lead detective is Brian A. Griffin. It's Brian with a B, Brian A. Griffin, badge number 7921. Detective Brian A. Griffin stated on Wednesday, May 4th, 2016, at approximately 0059 hours, Metro Safe Communications advised the homicide unit, LMPD 2nd Division officers responded to a shooting near 804 South 41st Street. Detective Brian A. Griffin, 7921, also stated he arrived at approximately 0139 hours. Then he began a neighborhood canvass, and Detective A. Wilder assisted with the canvass. He stated he knocked on 801 41st Street, 803, 804, 802, and 800 homes and got no answer. This was all documented on the Louisville Metro Police Department Major Crimes Division investigation report. So it's clear that Detective Ryan, with an R, Ryan Griffin, committed perjury, first degree, by falsifying testimony under oath. Now, Detective Ryan Griffin also committed perjury, second degree, by falsifying written document and discovery. He made a false fabricated recording of a neighborhood canvass. How can he have did the canvass when the official documents state that Brian A. Griffin and Detective A. Wilder did the canvass? He also had no body camera footage to show that he was even at the scene. Okay, the prosecution also committed perjury, second degree, by falsifying documents about evidence. The prosecution knew that the detective's testimony was inaccurate and false, and yet she still used this fabricated testimony and evidence to prosecute me. The prosecution's actions have been flagrant. This is called prosecutorial misconduct. There's no excuse for the prosecution's actions to be this flagrant. Not only did the prosecution and detectives break the law themselves, but they violated my constitutional and statutory rights. I have two questions for the public and for the courts. How many others have they fabricated evidence against? How many others innocent people do they have sitting in jail due to their fabrications? Okay, and why would a judge on my case allow this injustice to continue, this corruption to keep going on? This case calls for an immediate dismissal. The prosecution and detectives have clearly ignored their ethical obligations. Thank you.